Hey all, my name is Kurt and I'm here with Trenton. Welcome to SLB Basement Bourbon Bar. And today, Trenton, I got busy at B's Liquor today.
I see that.
Yeah, I can't honestly count how many people have asked us about rabbit hole bourbon, and to be truthful with you, I only had the Derringer.
I saw that, and I have never actually had that one. I didn't. Yeah. I see these all the time. Yeah. They're readily available, and they're pretty cheap. But I've never pulled the trigger on them. And to be honest, this is going to be like a you episode because I'm very ignorant when it comes to what these are, what the price points are, what the proof points are, and everything. And everything's facing towards the camera, so I can't see anyways.
Well, truthfully, Trenton, this is going to be a you and me thing figuring this out. Sweet. Because I don't know much about it either. I just had a conversation over, I think it was a Facebook Messenger from another gentleman just a few days ago about this particular topic. And so when I was at Harry's over there, I was looking around, you know how I am. I'm looking on the shelf stuff. And I kept looking, I'm going to buy them. So because, all the cards on the table, the only, other than this Derringer, the only rabbit hole I've ever had was years ago. It's one of the actual very first, I'd say, I'll bet it was within the first 10 bottles of bourbon I ever purchased.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yes.
Okay.
And it was the basic Kentucky straight bourbon. I can tell you this, I wasn't very fond of it then.
Okay.
But in doing a little bit of reading, I've heard it's better now.
Okay.
So I drank some of it, but then I used most of that as cocktails and things like that, old fashions. That's what I did. So this is new to me too. So I mean, basically, what we have here, Trenton, is the basic Kentucky straight bourbon, which is the Cave Hill. We have the High Gold, and we have the Derringer.
Okay,
$75. Both of these are about the same, $55 at B's Liquor. So that's what I paid today.
So this is a 4-grain, I think.
Yeah, I'm going to read it for you because again, this is brand new to me too. I just bought them today.
Are these in order?
They are. Yep. Left to right on the bar
top. While you read that.
Yeah, go right ahead. 4-grain small batch. Okay. And that's one thing I am liking about these rabbit hole is that a lot of the information is right on the label, which I absolutely love. This bourbon consists of 70% corn, 10% malted wheat, 10% malted barley, and 10% honey malted barley.
Ooh.
Interesting, huh? Another thing I really like that I found out, never chill filtered. So they non-chill filter all of these.
Okay. Which
I'm a fan of. And the proof comes in at 95 proof. For this one, I think this one's a little less, but we'll get to that when we get into it. So 95 proof.
Okay.
So,
a little bit lower.
Points, yeah, a little bit lower, but not bad.
I don't know if you covered this, but it also says matured over 3 years.
Thank you.
So it's safe to say that it's a 3-year.
I did not see that. Yeah. It's okay. So basically, yeah, pretty close to a 3-year.
Spilled this all over the place somehow.
So let's get into this Cave Hill first. Go from there.
So to me, and let me know if you get this, the nose, and I know this is a neck pour. It's like quite a bit of ethanol on my nostrils.
Yeah.
My nose hairs are standing up a little bit.
Standing attention.
Yep.
A little bit.
I could see a little bit of the honey influence for the honey malt on the nose.
Yes, I was just going to say that.
to be able to find that in there.
Yeah, I like it. It's nice and sweet. A little bit of honey. I definitely get that barley on the nose too.
Ooh. So I think the honey doesn't translate as well to the palate at any point during the sipping experience. I can get the sweetness from it and like a little bit of the honey funk or whatever you want to call that, like the nutty note that comes from honey or whatever.
Yeah. Almost like a caramelized honey.
Yeah.
Really.
I definitely get quite a bit of oak in this one. And I'll be honest with everybody here, like this is where I struggle a little bit with finding notes is on that lower proof stuff. My kind of wheelhouse is 105 proof and above. I'm not like 140 proof or anything, but
I like this sipping.
It's good.
I like this proof point for sipping. I really, really do. This to me tends to be a little bit earthy, like you would find in a typical 4-grade. So it's a bit earthy, but yet it's somewhat sweet.
Yeah.
I find it just a touch syrupy.
I could see that.
Just a touch syrupy. And I'm getting...
I don't get much of the
kind of a cornbread thing going on there.
Cornbread?
Mm-hmm. Like a baked cornbread.
Huh. Is there a different way to do cornbread?
Probably not. Babe, is there any different way to do cornbread? No, just bacon. Okay.
All right.
My bad.
Hear me out, though.
Sure.
I didn't know that cornbread had corn in it. I swear, when I was growing up, when we had cornbread, there was no corn in it.
Well, it doesn't have to.
No,
anytime I have cornbread, anytime I have cornbread as an adult, I get corn in my cornbread. That's not okay.
No.
I could
have your mom make you some.
Talking about a corn casserole.
Yeah, I would think so.
Nasty, whatever it is. It's nice though. It's nice though when you're drinking it and not.
I will tell you this. This is way better than my memory of the first rabbit hole that I bought. I really wasn't fond of it. This one I think is pretty decent.
Yeah, this is a nice lower proof sipping experience for me at what, $57?
Yeah, I'm liking. I'd have to get into it more, but I'm really liking what they did with that with the barley in there, with the malted honey barley, and I like it. I think it's good.
One last thing, then we'll move on to this one. I like that you can find a 4-grain at a lower proof and a lower price, because I feel like nowadays you get 4 grains that are like pretty high up in the proof or pretty high up in the price, or both. Yeah. And it makes it a little bit inaccessible for new bourbon drinkers to try a 4-grain. Yeah. I think this is a great option for those folks.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty decent. Let's get into the second one. This one's the High Gold, Trenton.
I was looking forward to this one because I know it's a high rye,
and that's what's on the side label here. Again, love the labels on here. High rye small batch. So this bourbon consists of 70% corn, 25% malted barley, 5% malted barley. 25%. I apologize. Can I say that again?
Yeah, start over.
Yeah, I said that all wrong. My apologies. This bourbon consists of 70% corn, 25% malted rye, 5% malted barley, non-chill filtered. Again, as Trenton said, aged at least 3 years. Malted rye.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I'll let you go first on this one because I went first on the last one.
I haven't even got it to my nose yet.
The nose is nice and sweet, I feel.
Yeah, it's got some lighter sweet notes to it. It's not deep and dark for sure. Almost get a little orange in there. I like get that a lot when I'm drinking some high rye bourbons.
I can definitely pick up that orange on the, like an orange, like a zesty kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Interested to hear what you say on the palate, though.
Completely different experience from this one to this one.
100%.
Completely different. This one is not, it doesn't have that syrupy note to it. Mm-hmm. The only thing I'm getting on that first sip, and I'll get into it again, so I'm definitely getting that orange note a little bit with the rye, a little bit of light sweetness up front. What else you got?
I was expecting a little bit more on the palate. I feel like the palate for me is a little bit soft. I don't get as I'm not finding as many flavors as I think maybe you are on the palate for this one. I was hoping that the nose would be somewhat identical to the palate, but I'm losing a lot of those flavors. And if there are any flavors that I can find, they're really mild. There's nothing like slapping me in the face. Mm-hmm. And I don't find much sweetness in this one either.
Okay. I find it to be lighter on the palate. So I agree with you there. I do find that rye bite though. I find the tingle on my tongue. So I find that rye spice for sure that you would expect with a high rye bourbon. I do get a little bit of a light caramel there at the beginning and some orange notes. But I have to say that I don't feel it is necessarily complex per se.
Yeah.
I don't feel it's bad whatsoever. Do I feel it's the best bourbon I've ever had? Not really. I feel there's more interest in this bottle because of the 4 grain and things like that. Take one more sip.
And I'll say at 3 years, I'm not expecting a whole lot. And I gotta say, one thing that I think this has going for it is that it's not like tannicky oaky that you might expect or might get from a younger bourbon.
No.
So I can appreciate that about it. For me, as somebody who drinks higher proof bourbons, it's tough to find flavors in here, and it's tough to find much viscosity or anything on the palate for me.
So it's a little thin to you on the flavor side.
This is like super thin.
Because I don't personally find it to be thin as far as viscosity because it's non-chill filtered, things like that. But I do understand where you're coming from. It is a little thin on the flavor side. As you mentioned, Trent, I don't find anything in there that's offensive whatsoever.
No, not at all.
But it is a light drinking experience with a nice rye bite to it. And if that's your thing, this is your bottle.
There's definitely a market for that.
Yeah. Not bad. All right, let's move on to the last one, buddy. And as you know, this is my favorite. I've had it a couple times.
I've never had this one either.
I've drained one of these bottles already, so yeah.
Sherry finish right up my alley.
All right, so what we got on the side label again, Trenton? Twice finished in toasted and charred American oak barrels and Pedro Jimenez sherry casks, non-chill filtered. So this is the Derringer. This is about $75.
Okay.
So you know.
Is this? I know that they have a rye too. Is this the most expensive of all of them?
Yes.
When you don't get into their special releases.
Yeah, this has nothing to do with their special releases, but this is the most expensive option they have. They did have a rye, but I didn't put it in the show, and I didn't see one actually today. Okay. So
I am very surprised by the nose.
That's jammy, babe. That is jammy. Oh my God, that is like raspberry jam.
What?
Yeah, bro.
Do you get butterscotch?
Oh, there's some butterscotch down in there, but hey, right. I'm just telling you right. The first thing that I find is a beautiful, sweet, jammy note. Honestly, but of course, I've had this quite a bit.
I want to agree, but I don't like jelly. I don't like jam. I don't like marmalade.
Here we go again.
Anything that's like a smush.
I don't like this. I don't like that. I don't like cookies. I don't like cake.
I
don't like icing. I don't like pies. I don't like you don't like jam or jelly.
Have you ever seen me?
Never like that.
Thank you. Have you ever seen me put jelly on a peanut butter sandwich?
Never.
I don't even want to talk to you right now.
Jelly does not belong on a peanut butter sandwich.
Jelly belongs all over my body.
Oh. Okay, bro.
It's great.
You're frightening me a little bit.
It's fantastic.
This nose is.
It really is. It's jammy. It's just really nice. It's good.
That's nice. And I don't know if it's the proof, but it's not coating my mouth as much as I wish that it would. Is it just me? It might just be me. Because like I said, I struggle with the lower proof stuff.
I get a nice burst of fruitiness in there.
Yeah.
And it's followed up with some light caramel. I even find a little bit of raisin and fig there. Although light, I get it there.
On second sip, it does coat my mouth a little bit more. Mm-hmm. And when I drink, I'm not like swashing it around like a mouthwash or anything. Sure. It just kind of coats the back of my tongue and then goes up the sides a little bit. Mm-hmm. And I will say I get that, like, I get raisin for sure on this one.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of my, for the price point, for the $75, it's I really love the Pedro Jimenez finish on this. It's just an easy sipper. Also, Trent, I didn't tell you, but the proof point's a little bit less on this one here. So this one is actually 46.5 ABV. So it's a little bit less.
This is as Jay Hoots would say, this is crushable.
It is,
and it's almost dangerous because it is like if you were to water down what I assume like a jam would be.
You're 100% right.
Plopped it into a glass and had to try it.
You're 100% accurate. As I told you when I went to that trip to Arizona, a buddy of mine and we pretty much polished that off in like 5-6 days.
I could see why.
It was good. Really, really good. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can see why you might like that too.
Really, really good. Well, hey, that's all we got for you today. We tried to put together this, just a little bit of a, what are we going to call this, Trent? Like a distillery highlight today with this Rabbit Hole bourbon. I'm really glad that I bought these couple today because I wanted to do this for quite some time, and I'm glad I did because this was an eye-opener for me. I really didn't appreciate this back in the day. I think this has become leaps and bounds. I have to go with Trent, and I do believe this one's probably my least favorite. However, nothing offensive there whatsoever. Obviously, this is my favorite, but I think it's a nice lineup. I really do, especially for the price point, and I love the fact they're non-chill filtering.
Yeah.
There's a lot I like about this rabbit hole.
We got the same lineup. I would go the same order. So
okay,
check these out if you see them near you. They're around us like everywhere.
Yeah.
So definitely don't pass them up. They're really good offerings for people that are beginners or enjoy flavor with low proof bourbons, I think.
Mm-hmm. So. Fantastic stuff. Thanks so much for everybody. We appreciate you all. As always, we ask you to please drink responsibly, and we'll see you next time right down here with Trent and I in the good old basement bourbon bar. See you later.